Welcome back to Visions 2012. Travel across the bridge to Cumberland County, New Jersey, and you'll get a sense of what all the U.S. may look like in a few decades. We're talking about so-called minority-majority towns. Take a walk in downtown Bridgeton, and you'll feel like you're on a trip south of the border. The storefronts are filled with Hispanic-owned businesses, the windows carry signs in Spanish, and you'll have a hard time finding anyone walking around town who's not Latino.
Bridgeton is good, you know.
Proxitus Sosa opened a store here 9 years ago to serve the growing Latino community. He sells clothing along with Spanish-language movies and music CDs, and says Bridgeton feels a lot like home.
Because over here is the small town, you know. I live like in Mexico. In Mexico, I live in a small town. It's like over here.
A few doors down, Wendy Cruz works in a money transfer office.
We transfer money to agencies in Mexico. A lot of families travel over here. They want to send money to families back at home.
Her parents moved to Bridgeton in search of better job opportunities, and more than 2 decades later, she says they still speak very little English, but in Bridgeton, they don't have to.
I think everybody should speak Spanish here, because if you don't, then we can run into problems.
When you walk here, you're going to feel the difference immediately.
Gladys Lugardo Hempel is the new president of Bridgeton City Council. A native of Puerto Rico, she is the first Latina ever to hold that position.
Call to order.
I speak both languages, and a lot of people in the community, they feel more comfortable when they hear the same language. Están haciendo una historia de Bristol, no se preocupe. And now they participate more in the city.
At Bridgeton City Hall, Mimi Garcia is officially the city clerk. Unofficially, she's also the city translator. Mimi says speaking Spanish comes in really handy.
Every day, especially phone calls with vital birth certificates.
According to the 2010 census, the Hispanic population across the country grew by 43% over the previous decade. At this pace, Hispanics will make up 1/3 of the U.S. population by the year 2050.
Tóquele el botón para que ella le abra.
That puts Bridgeton way ahead of the curve. Currently, 44% of the city is Hispanic.
As the numbers grow, we're trying to open the city for new businesses.
You know, beef, chicken.
Businesses like Primo's Restaurant, where owner Andres Ramon Garcia says he came to Bridgeton for a slower lifestyle after a stint as a taxi driver in New York City. And he opened Primo's because no other place in town was serving the foods of his native Dominican Republic.
In Bridgeton, this is good. This is good. For my family, for my kid, my daughter, my son, for the whole family. I love the Bridgeton.
In neighboring Vineland, the numbers aren't quite as high. The Hispanic presence is less obvious, but still, the numbers are impressive. 38% of the city's residents are Hispanic.
It's a lot of Spanish people around this area, you know, especially Puerto Rican.
And La Cabana del Tío Tom touts its authentic Puerto Rican cuisine as the best in town, with favorite dishes including the pork and yellow rice.
So down here we got the famous pinchos.
On Landis Avenue in downtown Vineland, Hispanic businesses are helping bring life back to the struggling strip.
From Boulevard to 6th Avenue, it's all Hispanic.
Juan Solana just opened a new restaurant serving the foods of his native Mexico City and is planning a cafe and salsa club a few blocks away.
All this is a sweet bread. It's a traditional Mexican bread.
Anahi Vasquez opened the San Paulo Bakery 4 years ago, and business has been so good she just expanded to the neighboring storefront, with the restaurant serving traditional Mexican breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And here I have a steak.
She has been living in Vineland now for 16 years.
We don't know exactly what Vineland, but we like here. I have 3 kids, and all born here in Vineland.
It's mostly employment opportunities on farms that draws many Hispanics to live in the Garden State. But as the population has surged, Spanish-owned businesses of all sorts are opening up to serve the community as well. When we come back, with U.S. travel restrictions, you still can't hop on a plane to go to Cuba. So some of the country's most talented chefs are now coming to you.
He lets the food speak for itself.
Visions 2012 will be right back.